So really consistent issues here of time management. I'm just losing on time every single game. Getting myself into real trouble. Okay, King's Gambit. So I'm going to try and play the opening at least with a bit more alacrity. I should know what I'm doing in a number of these lines. I'm going to deliberately delay defending my e-pawn. Doesn't fall for it. Wow, I've had much higher rated opponents than that fall for that trap. Knight takes e5 there would have been a blunder. That looks like a free pawn, but then queen check picks up the knight. But he didn't fall for it, so fair play to him. I've had lots of 17 and 1800 rated players fall for that. I want to pick my queen up, really, don't I? I like to play that move, knight g4, but it doesn't work. This is what I'm talking about, time management. Come on, man. I've got to move. Yeah, I assumed that was coming. Right, rook h7. I think my rook does a reasonable defensive job. Queen g5 check, rook g7. Queen g5 check. No. I kind of want to play king here, which feels a bit mental because my knight is obviously now pinned, but well, hang on, there's stuff like this first of all. I just want to bring all my pieces towards the attack. If this knight ever moves, I've got ideas. He needs to be careful of this one as well. Maybe I should trade this so that I can then start playing around here. Maybe I should get my king tucked away before I think about those things. These doubled pawns, I think, do a surprisingly good job of looking after some key squares. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I was hoping for. So I want to take on e2. I'm taking too long again. I'm taking way too long again. My knight is coming here. g3, and I play rook takes h3 because gf, rook h1. Yeah, okay, well, we're not apparently going down that road anyway. I don't think there's any reason to not play this. Let's try and get his knight to move and then bishop here. This is fine though, I think. Oh, hang on. Take there. Maybe I should start with this. Oh no, that's a pin. Of course it is. Start with this then. Oh, he goes that way. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I had to take another look at that for a second, but it was made. Good. Well, I mean, the guy's way lower rated than me, so that should have been an easy win, and thankfully it was. 17-19 opponent. This is the kind of game that I should be winning easily, but I've just been in such a bad vein of form. What is happening in this with this opening as well? Okay, I'm going to take the pawn. He's going to take my pawn. Or is he going to play? Okay. That's good for me, I would say. It gives me time to defend this one. I'll trade. I'll castle. And I don't mind my position. Queen h5. He can just play like g6 or something, couldn't he? is not going to fall for that trap. Oh, queen h5 check now. That looks good. And then g6, knight takes g6. Bishop f7 could be a problem. There. Sort of win the rook. Maybe bishop takes g6. This one, rather than knight takes. Has to put something in the way. This one. So the obvious threat is to take f8, which he defends thusly. Knight here. Feels strong. Queen has to move. I don't see that he has any squares for it where he can defend f8. I'm winning material. This one is mate. Yes, good. Oh, I've got a brilliancy. Let's take a look. I assume it was me. It turns out my opponent played that. Disappointing. Yeah, look at that steady incline. Yeah, I did play a brilliancy. Let me move my head and we can check it out. I think it's going to be something to do with that sack on g6, yeah. Computer did not like my opening play. Not surprising though. That was correct to trade there and to castle. That was fine, I could have apparently played f4. Yeah, blunder. Well, not a blunder, a mistake. Great move. Followed up by a brilliant move. So just what was going through my head here is that there's a lot of tactical patterns here where in these sorts of positions white plays knight takes on g6, because then obviously if h takes, the rook drops, which is very similar to what happened in the game. But in this position, if knight takes, then I think black could have played bishop f7, setting up a nasty little pin against my queen. So that was when I spotted then that actually I can take with the bishop instead. And this is just game over. So the knight covers any other escape squares for the king, so only thing black can do is put something in the way. And then we just flood into the position. And that's a nice checkmate in the middle of the board. Sweet. Early signs of a recovery, maybe.